Hello everyone, this is Tip Top Gaming here today with another Magic the Gathering news video. Now in today's video, we are going to be talking about the October 21st, 2019 ban and restricted announcement. Now for those of you who don't know, this ban and restricted announcement wasn't supposed to come till late November, but 2 days after the last ban and restricted announcement, we got a emergency. Basically they're saying, hey, we're moving up this date to right after the Mythic Invitational thing. And so we're going to announce banning there. And of course, they wouldn't just bring the date up and then not ban anything. So we knew something was happening. There's been a lot of speculation. Now, currently, one deck in Standard has been plaguing them all. And that, of course, is Field of the Dead. So Field of the Dead is now officially banned in Standard. Now, this will take place Thursday, so it'll be officially banned, I believe, on MTG Arena Thursday with the release of the next update. And yeah, so that is not the only update. Also, Arkham's Astrolabe. So this is Field of the Dead. I'll go over that card in here in a second. And then this one I'm not going to spend as much time on because Pauper's not as big, especially on this channel. But Arkham's Astrolabe allows you to do some really cool stuff. It replenishes itself. It only costs 1, and you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So it allowed you to do some pretty broken stuff, especially costing 1, and it's a common. So, yep, that's it. So, yeah, on MTG Arena, it'll be effective the 24th. Tabletop, it'll be effective the 25th. And online, it'll be effective today. So why don't we hop right into it? So, since the Standard rotation, one of the strongest and most metagame-defining decks has been a ramp deck that uses Golos, Tireless Pilgrim to find Field of the Dead. The deck has not only maintained a high win rate and metagame share, but it also restricted the space of viable competitive strategies in Standard. Field of the Dead's ability to produce a constant stream of zombie tokens for little resource investment gives the strategy of an often inevitable win condition in long games, making it difficult for traditional control decks or other ramp decks to go over the top with a more powerful late game. On the other end of the spectrum, ample anti-aggro tools and fast ramp enables the deck to defend itself against traditional attack decks before shoring up the grounds with offensive zombie tokens. This has forced the metagame into extreme positions, with hyper-aggressive red decks and planeswalker-heavy decks being among the only archetypes to consistently put up favorable results against Field of the Dead. Beyond just the strategy of Field of the Dead presents a number of other problems for the metagame. The repetitive onboard nature of its effect can cause games to frequently play out in similar deterministic ways. Since Field of the Dead is a land, it can be difficult for many archetypes to interact with it, further limiting the metagame's ability to adapt. Finally, the long-term advantage Field of the Dead provides often leads to prolonged games. We've observed and marked increase in match times going into tabletop tournaments and an average game length in digital play. Field of the Dead ramp decks represented 42% of the field at Mythic Championship 5 and maintained both a high play rate and win rate on MTG Arena and Magic Online. Due to the strength and prevalence of the archetypes, its warping effect on the metagame, the undesirable play patterns it creates, Field of the Dead was banned in Standard. So this is both best of 1 and best of 3 on MTG Arena. So, generally, their strategy when it comes to banning things, we don't like to ban things, we like the meta to adapt. Or, we don't like to ban things, we like to release new cards that fix it. And, that's a little less. But they don't like to ban things just because it's powerful. It has to eat up a lot of the meta. And that's what Field of the Dead was doing. It's very rare that they ban something because, it isn't fun, or, blah, blah, blah. But in this case, it's taking over the meta, it has too high of a win rate, and it's not fun. So, it was one of the biggest choices to be banned by the community. I'm going to continue now. In this case, I want to be clear that the outcome of Mythic Championship 5 did not affect this banned and restricted announcement decision. In order to collect and analyze a large sample of data, discuss his decision and communicate that decision to our partners in rules, digital, and organized play, banned and restricted changes require a certain amount of lead time. Therefore, while the metagame leading up to including the Mythic Championship 5 was a factor in our decision-making, the change was not a direct reaction to the result. In general, a single tournament is only ever part of the bigger picture when we consider banned and restricted changes. Finally, we are aware of a couple other community complaints concerning Community concerns regarding the standard environment, including that its early acceleration to planeswalkers can be frustrating, that the color green is strong across a variety of standard archetypes. We'll continue to monitor the health of the environment, but we feel it's important to allow the metagame to adjust in the absence of Field of the Dead before further evaluation. As a philosophy, we prefer that players build deck build and metagame choices drive the evolution of the environment whenever possible, rather than banning and restricting things. So that's kind of their ideology. I kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier, and so before they go and ban Oko, which is really who they're talking about without naming him here, they want to see how the meta reacts to Field of the Dead. If it becomes 75% Oko, which is what a lot of people think is going to happen, then, then they might go and ban Oko, which would really stink, because right now my main meta deck is an Oko deck, which makes me feel a lot better about Field of the Dead as well. I mean, this does get rid of some of my decks, like the Elemental Really Fun deck. I love that deck. But I think it's a necessary thing to have leave. And just so that you guys know, when something gets banned in MTG Arena, it doesn't hurt as much as it does in paper. I mean, it still hurts, but you do get all the wild cards back for it. So since I have 3 Field of the Deads, I will get 3 wildcards. Now, I'm not sure if you go out and spend 4 wildcards on Field of the Dead so you can use it in Historic and all that. I don't know if you're going to get 4 or if it's like, I think in the past they did it if you got them before the announcement. That's when they did it. So then Pauper, it was basically just too powerful, and that's pretty much all they mention here. I'm sorry about that. If you guys enjoyed this video and found this useful, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.